Today we are going to discuss about and gain knowledge on the unit number 5. Based on the unit number 5, we are going to discuss about the how we are going to apply all kind of cloud applications in the real-time environment. And based upon this criteria, which we are going to study today, the topic would be covering about how we are going to apply in the real-world problem. And we are going to develop with the cloud lamp, that is which is going to basically with all kind of software solutions which contain the development in the web, and we are going to further create and implement all kind of deployment in the lamp server, right? Lamp server is nothing but the full form of lamp server is the Linux oriented format, where we are going to implement and we are going to design the flexibility of our cloud solution. In this topic we are going to discuss about. Okay. First of all, we are going to see about the introduction part, where we will study about the cloud full stack development. Cloud full stack development is the applications of the cloud in which the hybrid cloud architecture will be used for allowing all kind of business to be carried out in this platform. These services will be provided with the multiple sources. One is with the services which have divided across all kind of physical environment with their physical boundaries. Right. The physical environment can be divided into two parts. One is with the hybrid part as well as with the possibility of their descriptions, where the client will have characterize their recordings based upon the operations which they are going to work with. So full stack engineer will be enrolled with this part with all kind of experience for understanding the various layers and comparing the application stacks, including the physicals and logical architecture of that particular system. Since already we have know that since it is a hybrid cloud is the combinations of your physical as well as the private cloud. How physical and private cloud will be having their user ID and passwords, which will be having introductions to their additional level of their complexity, which will make the more challenges for this full stack engineer. So based upon this, the following sampling skills should be provided with the full stack engineer, which might have good knowledge in their networking part, which they should have the knowledge in their server part, they should have the knowledge in their application infrastructure, right? First of all, we will go with the networking sequence of this full stack engineer should have, and it should maintain with the detailed understanding of your IP configurations mainly, right? Whether it may be IP4 or IP6, we should have the full knowledge about thorough understanding about the IP networking, inclusive of your routing concept. Additionally, we should have able to locate with their packet tracings, analyzing tools, how we have some of the skills. These are the basic skills that the full stack engineer might or should attain with the networking concept. Next, we will come about the server part. He should have the detailed and thorough knowledge of understanding with the server configuration management, including of your operating systems, including of your hypervisors, and some of the bare metals which we are seeing with this virtual server, which have been used in the data center tools, right? And if we are going for switching over with any KVM switching concepts like keyboard logging or handling of with operating systems through the hypervisors, this full stack engineer should have the detailed understanding of their configuration. Okay. Next, we will see about the application infrastructure. Application infrastructure is said to be the understanding concept of various component lying with your applications to be worked with your database, to be worked with your mail servers, to be worked with your web servers and other application, etc., which might be feasible to your individual to know about all the product of the spaces which contain or which have the certain standards of that particular system, which have to be implemented in the application infrastructure. Okay. So such kind of application infrastructure which we are currently running with is SMPT, JMS, APM and Tomcat. These are the local servers which have been installed in that particular system, and we are going to have the knowledge about all kind of these application infrastructure while we are going with the strategy. Okay. Next, we see about how if the server have been configured with the data, server have been configured with the network, server have been configured with the all kind of IP addressing, then our next concept or next role which we are going to play with this modeling is the data persistence. Data persistence with the full stack engineer should understand how the data architecture which we are going to implement and going to perform in this uh, hard disk, right? Whether it may be in the SAN or whether it may be in the hard disk drivers. So how the data is physically stored in this persistent modeling, and it going to directly attach it with, whether it may be directly attached with your storage, or it will be contained with the storage area network, as well as with the type of medium which we are going to use. Whether medium is nothing but whether we can use with this flash servers, or whether we can go with this some solid state devices or hard disk devices. Everything all depend upon the full stack engineer who are going to consist with the performance based upon the architecture they are going to use. Next, logically, we are representing all kind of the data. What kind of file system which we are going to use in the database have to be concentrated. Next, organizing all this in the logical format, this data persistence modeling will be helping out this full stack engineer to understand how the architecture will be going to implement it. Right. So if the architecture is confirmed with that, next we will be going with the data flow diagram. Right. Data flow diagram is nothing but the knowledgeable data, how the data have been going to move from various component of that particular application across the applications, within the applications, in the particular infrastructure which we are having. Right. This should be the account for how the physical architecture have been connected with the data flow, right? Next, once the data have been fixed with the flowing of or movable from the various component, next the security or giving security to that particular data is main important. Ideally, the FSC may have certified with infrastructure system. Normally, all the network might be concerned with these infrastructure system security policies, or professional certified will be more important for all kind of this data persistence, which means that they will have been proved, and understanding of this multiple domain should be surrounded with these infrastructure securities at the minimum cost. This full stack engineer should be understand and authenticate the authorizations, where the firewall have been laying, how the data loss can be prevented, who are the authentic person to be logged in with this information security, all should be have been noted in this data persistent model. So keep on going with these application securities. We have some more steps to be involved in this cloud application security. First, we have to discover how much employees are using this software application from our department. If the particular cloud application have been detected with that tool, to identify what being done, what is being used, and some of the critical operations of that particular data which have been involved in this consideration of cloud as a securities, or cloud broker solutions, or some of the challenging vendors which have been provided with this IT assessment. Next step, we are going with this risk assessment. How do we know about these applications which have been presented with this biggest risk, that the good cloud or bad cloud challenges need to know with this application sanctions on the monitoring of the blocks. Or we have to rate with the systems which is identically or identifying these cloud application risk attributes, which will be helping us to protect, or will be helping us to focus upon the protection or the right place. So some of the hint we are observing in this the rating of the systems, it's really reading about or uploading some of the anonymous comparisons of catch data, or securing with these data, or IT analyzing, or all these data will be taken up in the step number 2, right? Next, we have to coach the employees how to find out all the criminal activities have been done, to reduce some of the glitches, or to reduce some of the glingans which have been caused during the damage, as well as with the unknown security awareness trainings which have some of the less effect considered with this concept. So yeah, a content which have been remanded or formalized in the quality of training is simple, as well as the low cost we have to reduce the malwares. Last, before coaching that after coaching these employees, we have to make clear with their enforcement of policies, the security policies which have been enforced that much have highly granular and real-time harder achievers to find out all kind of cloud applications, and as well as with the tools or the business rules which have been connected with the contacts which have to be aware with the group, and aware with their devices, aware with their locations and the browser agents which they are going to use with, right? And we have to consider with some of the securing gateways and the permissions for either with the public cloud or with the private cloud which have been plus with and integrated with your hybrid cloud. All this advancement of this data loss prevention should be carried out in this policy enforcement. Next, we have to go with the policies and governance. Governing is automatically knows the some of the unique data centric have the security policies and the appropriate encryption techniques to contain with all kind of tokenizations to secure your data, complementing with your some of the tables on reporting, searching with the data which have been present in that particular database, and emailing all kind of encryptions which have make significantly with the users, and figure out how to avoid all kind of these security issues, right? So major next step which we are going to follow with this encryption techniques of the traffic management, how to address this SSL's encryption traffics towards the cloud, and we are going to maintain with the privacies while the decryption policy of that particular reasons. These applications will be performed, and the payload visibility of that particular internal security will be done with this. 50% of encryptions will be secured with the policy based traffic, so that SSL visibility will not be done with this specified network architecture, right? Last step which we are going to find out is the incident response. Once any alarm have been done in the particular malicious software deliberately, it will be hidden and it can be tracked with this complete cloud deployment, which making you the human interface, especially with the key incident to done with this incident, as well as with the we can search with the visualizations and filtering. All kind of third-party tools can be enabled with this incident response. Okay. So further, some of the available systems which are currently used in the real-time environment is the highly available systems in the cloud, which is operating with almost non-domain time is nothing but major, which we are going to use in the current vendor is the Amazon Web Services, which will be providing so many 200 services have been provided with that. One of the best services which we are going to use is the SQL database, NoSQL database, object storage, message queuing, load balancing, and DNS servers, and the content delivery network, right? So before we are going to use these kind of techniques where we can find out these stateless services, or some of the enabled or workload on these multiple servers is EC2. So all these storage services are offering the high availability of blocking network of storage without introducing a single point of failure. Some of the legacy applications are stored in the data on the disk. By using one of these three storage options is impossible. But currently there are two options are available. One is the beta services, which we have been provided with the elastic file system, which is stored and available in the NFS. And we are going to synchronize the state between this EC2 instance and unfortunately there are no productions ready out with these box which have been serviced with this AWS right now. Once it have been loosely coupled, some of the pre-request availability have to be found in decoupling your virtual machine from incoming requests. So to able to distribute or your workload on the multiple and automatically it have been replaced with this EC2 instance, you are needed to reliable and statically entry your points and entry your data into particular systems. Depending upon this, the incoming request needed to proceed with this synchronization and asynchronizations. There are two kind of services which is available in the AWS to enter your system. One is the load balancer, ELB we are going to use, as well as we are going to use with the SQS, right? So with this references from AWS services, we have learned the things how we are going to put the particular data in the serverless mode or in the serverless mode, and we are going to control the traffic based upon the incoming data towards the servers, and automatically it will be getting auto scaled, and the load balancing technique will be done. So further information can be carried out or can be referred with this, the link which have been posted in the slide, right? I hope you have been understand all the topics for the today's session. Thank you.